Yo, the Colosseum is no joke. And you know it's no joke when the story tells us that the Zeus and Hera family are the ones to originally report on its existence, what it is, what it does, and everything else. Even through this episode, Bell recalls a time where he was meeting with one of the people at the Adventurer Guild, and one of the guild people there that tells her, I forget what her name is exactly, but she's the one that's in love with Belle, is telling her about a specific place within the dungeon that enemies spawn endlessly through the walls, and that's exactly what they stumbled upon in the Colosseum. And it's pretty crazy to think of there being a place that challenges people in such a manner that they just consistently keep spawning no matter what. And at the end of the day, like, this is something that they had to cross. Now, we knew going into it that the moment that they conducted a plan, which was very good, they got about halfway through, we knew something was going to go wrong. They were not going to be able to just simply pass through the middle of this Colosseum unscathed. And unfortunately, that's exactly what happened. Now, to kind of just talk specifically about some of the events here, is Ryu's herself specifically has been really contemplating like her sacrificial lamb moment, her self-sacrificing moment. She's been thinking and moving forward to get Belle as far as she can, teach him as much as she can, and then find a moment to where she could basically sacrifice herself for him. Like, this has been on top of her mind, and she thought that this was going to be her moment. Now, the one thing that I said last week's episode, and probably even the week before, is the thing that she's not considering really is Belle himself. And at the end of the day, the reason that he has the Argonaut skill, the reason that he has the ability to level up so fast and everything, is because he thinks himself a hero, right? He wants to be the protagonist of this story. He wants to be the hero of this story, and that's pretty much what drives his skills, drives his abilities, drives his experience and everything else. That's why he was able to get to the level he's at so quickly, faster than any other adventurer really has ever done before. So that's the one thing in her formula that she's not really thinking about is, okay, Belle isn't the person just to simply let herself sacrifice. And that moment is proved evident here, to where he loses it, he goes a little bonkers, he goes a little bananas, and then he lightning speed runs as quickly as he can through the maze to go and save her. He then activates, again, it's almost instinctively, it's almost naturally, his Argonaut skill, basically gums, and he's able to summon the Argonaut skill. He puts the skill into the blaze rock or whatever, which is so dope, and he throws the blaze rock, and the episode ends with him firebolting it. Basically, I think you see the Colosseum just explode, which is insane. And we know that his Argonaut skill, basically, it's like there's no limit. It's like there's no wall to it. Like, we don't even know the depths of its limits. So it's like, yeah, he can basically destroy this whole Colosseum. And I love the moment where Ryu really looks at him, and she has that flashback of one of her familia members of the past talking about, somebody who can realistically achieve and make their ideals reality is something that you would call a hero, and she's seen all of those things within Belle. So I love their relationship. I love the way that it's grown so much. I love how they've grown a lot closer. At the end of the day, it's like, if they make it out of here, which obviously he's our protagonist, the one caveat is Ryu going to be the one to make it out of this? We know that Belle's going to do everything he can to make sure that happens, but is she actually going to make it out of this? We really don't know. And is him going back going to be for naught? Like, that's something we don't know either. But very, very, very good. Very good. Very, this episode is very, has you on your seat, like anxiety. The anxiety level of this episode was definitely like at an all-time high. Watching them try and sneak through the Colosseum, watching everything that happened here. I was even okay with the backstory that we got at the beginning of the episode. We have Ryu kind of like learning a lesson from one of her familia members, who, is talking about passing on wisdom, which she then comes and then kind of passes on that knowledge and wisdom over to Belle in like a little lesson as well. So Definitely like really really love the episode quite a bit. I love how they go through everything. I like the little flashbacks of Belle meeting with like one of the guild leaders or the guild advisors there. Love all of that, and I like the little nod to the Zeus and Hera familia too, talking about like how they're really like the only ones who have stumbled here before, and even like the Loki familia just avoids this place like the plague when they travel down to these lower floors and stuff too. So, and then obviously when Belle's Argonaut ability activates, it's a hype moment. So overall, really, really great episode. I'm not going to dive into every little minute thing that occurred. Overall, it was really just him and Ryu tracking through the Colosseum this episode, facing adversity, and then obviously Belle coming to be the hero that he innately really is, and Ryu kind of waking up to that fact. So at this point, you got to marry the boy if you make it out of here. You got to go and give him anything that he wants if he saves you from this. And there's more to come. That's the thing too, is even after they make it out of the Colosseum, even after they make it back to the normal route, like there's still more to come. So that's going to be extremely interesting as well. So let me know what you guys thought about this episode, DanMachi. This episode I thought was fantastic. Definitely one of my favorite episodes of the season so far. And it's just because of that anxiety buildup that it had throughout this whole episode. Just feeling at the edge of my seat like, oh my God, are they going to make it or not? And then seeing Belle come and be the hero. So let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comments below. As always, I appreciate you guys being here. And I will see you guys next week for DanMachi episode number 9, part 2. Episode 9, part 2. All right, see you guys next week. Peace.